Okay, I'm just going to check in and see how you're moving, and then we'll go through some of the things that we checked before and see where things are. And then I'll ask you also like how things are feeling. So let me just see standing up. Are you just flowy left and right? Whoa! Okay, when I teach, I'm like, never assume anybody's stable. Okay, so we could be more stable going to the right.
I'm slowing.
Okay, but turning is really good. Hi, everyone. I'm Kara Lindell. I'm the founder of the Bridging Institute and the Bridging Technique, and this is Annette, who we've met before. She had some bothersome pain in her left SI down here. And so how's that feeling?
On and off. Some days I'm good, some days I'm not as good.
So, but it's not as much as before.
Sometimes but not as much like as it had been.
Okay.
But sometimes at the same level will be there.
Okay, but just not as consistently.
Correct.
Okay. So yeah, we've got more to do. And actually I have a game plan because sometimes with where we start, we just have more steps in the same direction. And if you remember, when we met Annette, we, besides her dance background and a bunch of different injuries that she's had in an auto accident, she was born a little early. And so we took the tact of kind of working through some of the muscle relationships that maybe didn't get developed all the way. And so there's more to that. A lot of what we did before was just more the leg. I'm going to get the leg and how it connects to the lower part of your core, and then we'll just make sure everything's all even and moving. But we do want to make sure you're more stable. My goodness. So we get surprised too. Sit down. Let's see how you're moving. And so for those of you new to the channel, we have some new subscribers. Welcome. We check, part of the bridging technique is based on the physics of the body and an engineering-based problem-solving process because my background is engineering and I'm a movement specialist. So we're getting some information now by just breaking it down to see how is her body in control. Whoa, okay, that's interesting. You kind of go to the left and get stuck there. And turning is okay. I'd like a little bit more. Whoa. Okay, so your upper and lower parts of you could work together just a little bit better. They're moving, but there's some control that they should have. Lay down on your back. Let's check a few things. So what I'm doing is just checking overall how is her control from her core. We call it sway control. Okay, legs are moving pretty nicely. And actually, I think I like your left better than your right, which maybe is why your balance is off. Last time, because of the issues on the left, I think we did a bit more work on the left side. So we just may have some catching up to do. Just a quick check-in on the arms. Excellent. Good. And then I'm going to just see how you roll toward me a little bit. Excellent. And let's see the other side. Oh, that could be better. So what's interesting, it does seem that the right core is working a little bit better with arms and legs. But the legs are different from each other. So what I'd like to do is work through kind of knee to hip and a little bit into core. Because as a teeny little baby, this big, being born early, those muscles just didn't get as much practice and weaving together all these little tiny complex relationships that actually matter. So I'd like to see what we can do. But just so everyone at home can see a little bit easier, I want you to sit up and flip around the other way.
Head that way?
Yeah.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah. So what we did is we did some quick assessing to see how arms and legs are connecting to core. Roll that way.
Roll or just move?
Just on your side.
Oh, that's on
so
my
turn
side.
on your side, yeah.
Okay.
Are you okay with your head like that?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Okay. So I'm going to put one leg supported here with something nice and squishy. And I'm going to put another peanut ball. They're intentionally not blown up all the way so that they're very supportive and conform. And it should feel like we've just got a nice little cushion or a little air sandwich around your leg. And just looking for nice, just bouncy, fluent, easy motion. And it seems like knee is a little bit tight. But also, I'm moving ever so slightly, and I see a lot of movement up at your shoulder. And I want that not to be happening. I want your core to have some independence for just tiny little movements. So one of the things in the body is with the physics of movement, it should dissipate. So a lot of what our legs do is dissipate force from the ground so that it's not bothering our head. When we're walking, just everyday kinds of stuff. So I'm going to move up a little bit and see if we can get a little bit more motion right around your hip. And because if it's you've been experiencing the pain on the left side, we're working on the right side. Sometimes when one side is a little tighter, not working quite as well, it actually stresses on the other side because the other side ends up doing more work. Good. And so it's interesting. I actually feel changes through your core, the middle. There we go. So we find that using the big broad surface of these peanut balls is a lot more effective and efficient with trying to restore big relationships in the body. So if I just supported her leg and her hip, you can feel that's different, don't you, Annette? If I'm going, oh, you're zoned out.
It's so relaxing.
Yeah. Oh. So that gets, if I use just my hands, it's more specific to just the joint, but I really want the whole abdomen and the whole leg to have a more complex relationship with each other. And by using a lot more surface, we can get more connectivity between muscles and connective tissue. And it's not just one muscle, it's groups, because there are a lot of muscles that connect between the legs and the core. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the really light motion that I was doing before and see if I don't see as much shoulder moving anymore. It's just a tiny bit. And a lot easier motion at the hip and glutes, a little bit above the sit bones and into the lower back. There. Okay, let's just see how your whole leg is doing. Move super easy. All the different directions it needs to go. Oh my gosh. I can tell the former dancer in you because you have huge ranges of motion that most people don't have. Okay, that feels like it's moving really well. So sit up. We're going to flip back to the other side. And now we're going to get at the side that...
On my side?
Yeah. We're going to get at the side that is been the challenge. So I'm going to just support this again. The last time we were supporting with her on her back, and so we were just getting front and back of the leg, and it was more than at the knee, a little bit at the hip. So we're really, really connecting more into her lower body this time. There we go. Oh, your leg keeps wanting to rotate forward. So I'm going to hold it so that we don't end up on the floor. And Annette, if anything is not feeling so great back here, let me know.
Okay.
There it comes. And we're going to do just like on the other side, just some easy motion through her lower back and glutes. You know, we think of glutes as this big, gigantic muscle, but in fact, there's several layers to the glutes, and then there's some other muscles that are underneath there. So just me moving back and forth like this, it kind of propagates down all the way to the various layers of muscles, and hopefully lets those inner layers start to relax. They have to work pretty hard also, even though we kind of give the glutes the big credit for doing all the work. Okay, I see the same thing going on with just a little motion at your hip and pelvis, that there's a lot of rocking in your core. So I'm gonna come up here and see if we can get that isolated a little bit. So all I'm doing, mostly stabilizing her shoulder, but I think inadvertently, wait,
And that's gonna go.
Let's prop this up a little differently so you don't have to work at it. How's that? No,
My leg's gonna fall.
about that. There we go.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, finally.
That works.
So just holding, trying to get some more motion between her shoulder and her pelvis. And I think last time we got into a little bit with left shoulder, not a whole lot, but related to the car accident. And in several other videos we've come across where people with car accidents have a very compressed left shoulder from the seatbelt doing what it's supposed to do to keep you from flying out the window when you're hit from behind. But it leaves your shoulder all compressed. There. Okay, that's moving easier. And let's get back to this. Oops. Hold on. All right, so back to the leg. And now it's moving. I'm actually testing it to make sure that it feels really elastic and loose, and the way that her pelvis and leg work together. And just kind of pushing forward and back, a little bit like kneading bread dough. And then we're gonna, oh, goodness. This one just has a mind of its own, wanting to come forward. So what I've learned over the years is we just need to go with it, because there's something to that. This is where our problem-solving process kind of clues us into the area that is looking for some work and resetting some muscles, but then how the muscles end up resetting and how they transition as they're going is very unique, because it depends on what all has happened in life, whether it was when you were a teeny tiny one or when you were injured and overusing things when you were dancing. I'm sure you never overused anything, right? Every day. How many years did you dance?
Many.
Here. Okay, that feels like that is working better. And oh, now her leg comes up and around. Whoops. Lost a peanut ball. That's okay. I'm just trying to work out or help the transitions that opened up at the hip. Come on down to her knee and her ankle. There we go. Whew. Okay, now we're into the same kind of very wide range of motion that her right leg was doing. Okay, come on back on your back. And let's recheck legs and core. And so 1, 2, that feels a little bit more even. Good, okay, this moved before, that's easier. You might think I'm using more muscle to pull, not. We're gonna see how the left side goes, and hopefully it does go. There we go. Excellent. I want to also make sure that, because I was doing a little bit with the one shoulder and not the other, and I like to make sure that they're matched up. Yeah, actually, that feels really good. Perfect. Okay, sit on up. Let's see how your core is moving now with some changes with your legs. Okay, good. Let's see if we can even this out. Okay, there we go. Okay, that's much better. So it was all the changes from the hips and the glutes, just it hadn't gotten to the middle. Much better. And then your head has to kind of help direct the show with that. Yay. And forward and back. Okay. Saying about your head, I'm just going to hold it and let it kind of recenter itself. And I'm just lightly holding it. It was moving around a little too much. If I'm moving her middle, I want her head to go with, but not be having a whole thing going on of its own. Whoa, that's a lot. And that's where it goes. Car accident?
Several.
So again, I'm just holding it where it goes and letting the muscles on both sides of her neck and head just reset themselves. The ones on the left side and the right side need to work together, and goodness. So when we get into these car accidents, it's so quick. It kind of shifts the balance of how the muscles are pairing up with each other. There you go. Yeah, it's more centered. Good. And then let's check again, left and right. Oh, now you have better control. So the vestibular system, the organ that is, we think of related to the ears, it's right behind the ears. And if the head position's off, then your brain doesn't get all the correct information about what's actually going on with your balance to send good signals to your body to control that. So that seems pretty good. Stand up, and this will be the real test.
Catch me.
Yeah, I'm ready. Okay, so start on the side that, yay. I'm catching a little bit, but before I could have caught you, and you just like really kept going. Yeah, what I'm doing, I'm kind of no. There. Yeah, your body stopped. Yay! You have better control. You're centered. Let's check the turns. Very nice. And forward and back wasn't. Okay, that's much better. Much more stable. Yay! So, better ground stability, better core stability. So, between your head being a little off center, things in your core being a little jammed, and your hips just all different things jazzed up in different ways, just getting them more available so they can work together, and then resetting that combination, getting them centered should make life a whole lot easier for you. Yay. So just to recap, so we started with working through more with that hip lower body piece related to her being premature, just to get more complex movement going. But then we ended up also bringing in, apart from the shoulder and the head, from auto accidents that she's had, maybe dance accident injuries too, but doesn't really matter. So she should be great. You can go about
I can feel the difference in my body already.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yay. Mm-hmm. More grounded. Hopefully.
I just feel a difference.
Okay.
I can't say exactly what it is right now because I'm so relaxed.
So at home, if you'd love to come in and experience the same thing, you can be a guest on our video show, and or you can come in for a private session. We're in the northern suburbs of Chicago. Contact info is in the show notes. Check out our website, and give Annette a thumbs up for this episode, and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next one.
Do this.